mean that living entities should be honored by charitable gifts and friendly behavior. And in this verse and in the following verses, the description of different grades of living entities is given so that one can know when to behave friendly and when to give charity. For example, a tiger is a living entity, part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Supreme Lord is living in the heart of a tiger as super soul. But does that not mean that we have to treat the tiger in a friendly manner? Certainly not. We have to treat him differently, giving him charity in the form of prasada. The many saintly persons in the jungles do not treat the tigers in a friendly way, but they supply prasada foodstuffs to them. The tigers come, take the food and go away, just as dog does. According to Vedic system, a dog is not allowed to enter the house. Because of their uncleanliness, cats and dogs are not allowed within the apartment of a gentleman, but are so trained that they stand outside. The compassionate householder will supply prasadam to dogs and cats who eat outside and then go away. We must treat the lower living entities compassionately, but this does not mean that we have to treat them in the same way we treat other human beings. The feeling of equality must be there, but the treatment should be discriminating. Just how discrimination should be maintained is given in the following 6 verses concerning the different grades of living conditions. The first division is made between the dead stone-like matter and living organism. A living organism is sometimes manifest even in stone. Experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. This is due to the presence of the soul within that stone. Above that, the next manifestation of the living condition is development of consciousness. And the next manifestation is a development of sense perception. In the Moksha Dharma section of Mahabharata, it is stated that trees have developed sense perceptions. They can see and smell. We know by experience that trees can see. Sometimes its growth, in its growth as a large tree, changes its course of development to avoid some hindrances. This means that the tree can see. And according to Mahabharata, a tree can also smell. This indicates the development of sense perception. The sense the Bhakti Vedanta purport. In connection with seeing all living entities with spiritual equality, now Kapila Dev is talking about material discrimination. Discrimination of matter, discrimination of the field of activities. There is equality at the Kshetrajna level, at the knower of the field. Equality because, as we discussed yesterday, seer is different, seen is different, hearer is different, heard is different, smeller is different, smelt is different, toucher is different, the touch is different, etc. And all the variegatedness that we see, including the particular types of sensations as well as particular type of identities. Just like my bodily identity is different, your bodily identity is different, every person's bodily identity is different. How we look is different. You look in the mirror, how we look is different. So these differences are not differences of the soul's look. So they are not soul's look. If somebody is angry and someone is very kind, the actual kindness and anger is all in the field of activities. But the soul is responsible, no doubt. But where is it occurring? That is the point. Where are these things occurring? They are occurring in the field of activities. So they are actually not the intrinsic differentiators of one soul to the another. As far as soul is concerned, Kshetrajna, he is knowing the varieties of things. The soul in my body may associate with this type, particular look and particular character and particular subtle body. If you take another soul and put in the same body, then that soul will also act exactly like Madhu Pandit does. Which means what? All that we see externally, all that we see the characteristics, this is coming from the body-mind system. So there's no point in identifying myself with this. This is not me. So this is a very sophisticated robot which we identify ourselves as my total self. The self in the body is different. It is a Sat, or that which eternally exists in this body. That is what I am. I am, in the Bhagavad Gita introduction, Prabhupada says, I am is what the soul is. The Sat, I am. I am this, I am that. Go into detail, it is in the field. The sense of I is very important. Sense of I am is very important. The sense of identity is very important. The sense of ego, having no ego, is very important. But having a false ego means that ego is entered into a false identification, false me. But if a false ego, then I have to find out my real ego. So ego, in the sense of ego, the generic ability of taking up different egos, that belongs to the soul. That is what the soul is. If you shine white light through different colored glass, you see the green light, red light, yellow light comes out the other end. Suppose that glass has also the form of, it is a glass mold of a lion's face. Then when you shine white light, you will see a lion's face coming out. Is it not? If the glass is having a monkey mask, you shine the light the other side, the light comes out as a monkey. This is the example of light. In the same way, thinking, feeling, willing, you can consider there are three lights. If the soul's thinking, feeling, willing shines through this body, then that is what my material self is. So going back to the analogy, am I a green light? No. I am not. I am the source of that green light. I have sourced, I am that white light. I have sourced that consciousness by identification with matter. This identification is like passing the light through that medium. In this case, in our case, it's not passing through, but it is called the mirror of the mind. The mind is like a mirror. So living entities, they mirror what is there in the mind. Mind means subtle body. If the subtle body has a particular type of a social ego, false ego, then my spirit soul mirrors that. So that is why it is said that our mirror of mind should be cleansed. That means mirror of mind our mind should not be identifying with anything of material nature, should see all the differentiations as being in matter and not in spirit. Then that is equality of seeing. So in every living entity, in every body, there is a living entity who is a Kshetrajna and who is identifying with the Kshetra. That is why he is experiencing, I am this body. He is not the body, but he is experiencing. His Sat is not his body. His Sat cannot change. He is what he is always. You know, even in our conditioned stage, we don't become what we are not. We are soul only. We are Sat only. But our experience is Asat. Sat has an Asat experience. I am this body means Asat. Who is experiencing the Asat? Sat is experiencing the Asat. So we are always Sat. But our experience is Asat in this material world. In this experience of Asat everywhere, there is the Lord's incarnation in different form, there is Sat. The other day I was seeing on the road, probably they were North Indians, they were carrying a dead body and they were singing, Rama Nama Sat Hai, Rama Nama Sat Hai, Rama Nama Sat Hai, Rama Nama Sat Hai. See, at least our culture is such that they don't know maybe what they are doing. After burying or before death, Sat is all forgotten. Ram is also forgotten. But at least when death strikes, somebody close goes, it's a tradition that please remember these are all Asat. Ramanama Sat Hai. So beautiful it is. Carrying the dead body, they're saying Ramanama Sat Hai, Ramanama Sat Hai. So in this material world, the Sat is, the Jiva is the Sat. But the Supreme Lord also incarnates as Sat. His pure devotees incarnate as Sat. When a pure devotee is in a material body, there is no material there. It is spiritualized. The matter body is transparently serving his Sat. Sat ego. There is no false ego. Prabhupada's ego was real ego, his own ego, as a servant of Krishna. His entire body, mind system was driven by his real ego that I am a servant of Krishna, not identification with the body. You can be in the body, you can use the body without being identifying with it. Keeping the body at a distance under self-control. You are not me. Please be self-controlled. Serve me. Serve me and my mission to serve Krishna. So then when we say something is not me, then we know how to be merciless. Is it not? Usually we are very kind to ourselves, but we don't care for others. We can dovetail that here. Don't care for this body. Just do what I'm saying. You are not me. But you should understand you are not me. If you think it is me, then you are very compassionate. You will allow everything. So disidentification with the body, understanding this body-mind system as a robot, is not simple gross body. Gross body, subtle body, manas, buddhi, ahankara, all together. Today, scientists are creating robots. But in that robot, there is no thinker, feeler, willer. There is no consciousness, there is no chitta in that. Tataha sa chitta pravarash, chittaha. Chitta means consciousness, pravara means developed consciousness, chittaha. The other day we talked about chitta, or consciousness. If the pure white light goes through the lion's face, a colored red lion's face, glass red lion's face, the other side, a red lion face appears to you. That is called Chitta lion. That is got my Chitta. Chit means consciousness, Chit means attention. Attention energy is the soul's energy, which comes out, and then I identify myself with the Chit body. Not my own body. That is self-realization. So my Chit has to become pure. That means my Chit has to become free from this identification, free from this identification that I am man, I am woman, I am etc., etc. That Chitta should become pure. By associating with pure consciousness, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, these seeing oneness, spiritual oneness, and material variegatedness. And material variegatedness has to be dealt with or related with as per Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Not whimsically. They have to be differentiated. And material differentiation is again done by material intelligence. So as we discussed the other day, Paramarthik drishti of every living entity is oneness, spiritual oneness, and not ordinary oneness. Oneness have the quality of God Himself. Every living entity is God-like. Now he is forgotten. But even now he is God-like. Just because I forget who I am, do I stop becoming what I am? If the microphone forgets that it is microphone, does it stop becoming microphone? No. That is called existence. That is called Satta. My Chit and my Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda, my Chit and Ananda or Rasa seeking becomes perverted. I don't stop existing. I am the real Sat who is experiencing this illusion. So this experience has to change by association with transcendental reality, that which eternally exists. Now if you see only material variegatedness, then you are forced to put an identity on that person's variegatedness. If you see the spiritual oneness, then the identity is assigned there, that everyone is a servant of Krishna, and having forgotten, he projects that identity faculty on that which he is not. The identifying faculty is whose? Soul's. Seer is whom? the soul. Seen is different, seer is different. Identifier is different, identified is different. So identifier is who? The soul. Therefore, we have got responsibility. Soul has got free will to identify, not identify with this. Free will is there. Soul has got so many faculties, thinking, feeling, willing, and it's got free will also. So if you only see material differentiations from person to person, male, female, young, old, rich, poor, all social, all this kind of differentiation, and think that this person is rich, this person is poor, this person is nice, this person is bad, this person is, then you are putting that identity wrongly. You can say his system is good, his system is bad, his system is male, his system is female. He is more intelligent than him, than the other person. That you can say. A car runs faster than a bicycle. The person sitting is running faster or what? No. The person sitting in a car is enjoying the speed of the car. The person sitting on a bicycle is enjoying the speed of the bicycle. Is a person faster or slower? No. In the same way, the spirit soul, the person is a person. That person is just riding on different triguna characteristics of this body. So person is one, part and parcel of Krishna, quality of Krishna, and material variegatedness is surrounding him. Pasting personality on material variegatedness is at the root of sense gratification. Is at the very root of sense gratification, cause of sense gratification. So now in this verse, that is as far as the previous purport yesterday I completed, so I just completed it. Now here Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, he gives a beautiful example of how, because the super soul is in the tiger's body, does not mean that you can deal with it in a friendly manner. The differentiation of the tiger's body, that it will eat you up. If you go in a friendly manner, it only goes according to his gunas. He will not see your friendly nature. In fact, the tiger will think you are coming to attack and will catch you and eat you. So we cannot apply all these things foolishly. Some tiger comes towards you, you have to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself. You cannot try stunts. But if you are put in a snake pit like Prahlad, he fully surrendered, what can he do? What can he do? Can he protect himself? At that time he will see the super soul in everybody, in each snake. Then miracles will happen. But normal duty, suppose he was not in the well and some snake is coming. Prahlad did not try all those stunts. He did his duty. He did his duty. Whatever he has to do, he did. Isn't it? He told at the face of his father, that what he is doing is not right. He has to accept Vishnu. So, at the paramarthic level, to respect a tiger is very important. At the Vyavaharic level, there are rules how to deal with it. When you have these both perceptions, then you are properly situated. The soul, the super soul, and the body. And this consciousness has various stages, that is also explained. Inanimate matter, the inanimate matter, living entity jivas can reside in inanimate matter also. Where Prabhupada is giving the example of some experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. So there are some living entities in the stones also. Then there are living entities in trees, in plants. Then there are aquatics. Then four-legged animals. The consciousness, 84 lakh species of consciousness is according to different development of awareness, starting from manifesting some living symptoms up to full-fledged sense perceptions. The sense perception that we have, the tree does not have. But it, as Prabhupada explained, it does have some sense perception. Otherwise, how the branches are moving away from obstacles. So that means something they are seeing. Even plants have feeling, pain and pleasure. That is also experimentally proven. But they are the sensitivity is very less. But it is there. Living symptoms are there. If you take care of a kitchen garden with nice love and kindness and this and nicely take care, means good vibration if you send out, you'll see your garden will flourish. More, it's a fact, all these things are a fact. Person's consciousness makes, the farmer's consciousness makes a lot of difference. The trees, the plants, they all respond differently. And if we are feeding them poison, what is poison? Chemical fertilizers. They will come back and treat you badly also. You'll get cancer, you'll get this, so many things. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, pasting personality on material objects, what is that means?
Just like this Hare Krishna hill, probably there is a soul here. Probably some curse or something, but he is a devotee. He wanted the Lord's feet on him. So, the Hare Krishna hill. So there is a soul in this Hare Krishna hill. This mountain, this hill is a body of that soul. For thousands and thousands of years it's entrapped. But some connection with Krishna is there. If somebody curses somebody, you become a stone, then you have to go and sit in the stone. Curses are very powerful.
Some Ahalya stories,
Yeah. Curses are very powerful. So like that, living entities can they can be in inanimate objects also. Highly underdeveloped consciousness. Less than trees. Down less than trees. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, you told the example of white light when it dispersed from a glass. So then you said later that our thinking, feeling, and willing are three white lights. White lights, or whether they are dispersed, then it is coming through my body. I mean to say, the thinking, feeling, and willing are the characteristics of body-mind system also, and mind system,
No,
and our soul system also. Now you
soul
said,
system also. Because the soul has got, just like Prabhupada says, because my body has got hands, legs, etc. When I stitch a dress, I also, in the dress, I stitch a leg and a hand. Correct? So this medium of material energy is designed to think, feel, and will. Because thinking, feeling, and willing faculty is in the soul. But the exact kind of thinking, feeling, willing, identifying, that is a characteristic of the material field now. I do not identify myself with what I really am as a servant of Krishna. I'm identifying as a separated, body. I'm identifying. So, but who is identifying is very important to know. Soul is identifying, soul is thinking, soul is feeling, soul is willing. Therefore, you are responsible. If the soul is doing nothing, then why loss of karma? Soul is doing, but influenced by, soul's doing is influenced by the material field. How you think, I will tell you. Maya is telling. You only are thinker. I will tell you how you should think. You should think you are independent. Maya is saying, I will tell you how you should seek rasa. You should seek independent rasa, ananda, independent ananda. But your propensity is that is yours. To seek rasa is your propensity. Feeling is your right. So Maya is diverting your feeling, diverting your thinking, diverting your willing for an experience which is disconnected from Krishna consciousness, Maya consciousness.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Like Prabhu, yesterday you were speaking about gratitude. So whenever there is a gratitude, there is obligation. When we have gratitude for something, we have an obligation. So suppose I receive some service from devotee. So should I take that obligation as this devotee has given some service? So I should be obliged to the devotee, or I should think that he is an instrument of Guru and Krishna, then I should be obliged to Guru and Krishna?
Both. Should be gratitude for every contribution in the chain. Every living entity is an independent entity. If somebody has shown some kindness to you, you are grateful to him for that extent. But you should understand that the mercy that I got from him is again from my spiritual master. My spiritual master only took me to this person. My spiritual master only inspired him to speak this. But he was an inspiration, he was an instrument to be my spiritual master speaking. Correct? So in this way, we have to connect ourselves, everything to Guru and Krishna, and be grateful to the instruments also. That is why it's a Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. The advancement in Krishna consciousness means Sadhu Sangha also. And in Sadhu Sangha, the Gurutva also comes through the sadhus. The Gurutva means the principle of Guru operates through the sadhus also, if you have Shraddha. This is exactly why people cannot make advancement without association of Krishna consciousness movement. If they simply read Prabhupada's books, they come and stop at one point. But further they need people who are practicing this knowledge of Prabhupada. These teachings of Prabhupada, who are following that, they are sadhus. Sadhus are those who are following the teachings of Prabhupada. So you have to associate with Guru, his books, you have to associate with people who are already practicing these teachings. Then it becomes quicker for one to also absorb the teachings properly. It is an energy, it is an association. If you are a devotee, your energy to be a devotee has come from unlimited places, unlimited pieces of association and reading and hearing and associating with devotees, hearing devotees. It has built up over all that. Little by little, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh.
Prabhu, in the starting you told about oneness in Kshetragya. And you gave the example of if some other soul accept this particular body, he will behave in the same manner through this body. So Prabhu, my question is it in the control of the soul or is it a characteristics of the body? Because you gave the example of cycle and car. Like if we exchange the body, the person who is handling the car and bicycle, so soul can feel the things that is influenced by the Maya. But whatever action he's doing, is it
Suppose I take your spirit soul, put it in my body, and I exit. You will act just like Madhu Pandit Dasa. But from now onwards, your attitude of lauding or serving, it will start acting on the system. In other words, you can influence the system back. According to your attitude. The attitude of lauding and serving the soul carries. But today, if I take my body mind system is, let us say, trained for responding to an attitude of lauding. Then say I take my soul and put in a karmi's body. I'll be overwhelmed with lauding influence. I'll be overwhelmed with lauding influence. But then my Krishna consciousness, my attitude of servitude, will have to fight that. So our free will is always there. So in other words, when you sit on a cycle, you will go at the speed of cycle. When you sit on a car, you will go at the speed of the car. But this car and cycle, the driver has got the free will to turn a cycle into a car or car into a cycle. That is a speciality of this vehicle. This vehicle can, as per developed consciousness, you can change to a large extent, at least the consciousness. Of course, you cannot fly like a bird. But if you are liberated, yes, you can be a mystic. You can fly also. Why need to fly like a bird? Without flying, I want to be in VK Hill. Tuck, you will be in VK Hill. You don't need to fly also. Soul is so powerful.
So how we see the oneness in Kshetragya?
Huh?
In this way, how we can see the oneness in Kshetragya? Because Sat is Sat. Sat is surrounded by Asat. And Sat is fixed. That's why we see the oneness in all the Sats.
Yes.
As a soul, we see the oneness in all the soul.
Yes.
Because he's independent. He's not influenced.
Not influence is not the idea. Oneness means the differentiator is in the material field. Oneness of material varieties is not to be pasted on to the spirit's variegatedness. Spirit is one. If you are fat looking, that is not you are not a fat soul. If you are thin looking, you are not a thin soul. But your body is fat, your body is thin, but the soul is neither thin nor fat, but is the experiencer of fat body and a thin body. So the soul in everybody is the same function, which is experiencer of variegatedness. Differentiator is in this material world is not the spirit, but it is the matter. But the attitude, yes, that difference. Attitude is different. That belongs to the soul. Spiritual attitude, attitude of servitude, attitude of lauding. These are two basic attitudes of the living entities. But the variegatedness of lauding is different. If somebody is having more lauding and somebody is having less lauding, it could be due to the material body, the past karma. Due to his past karma, he has brought a lot of lauding tendency with him there. So he may have more. So that is again assigned there. Now you can change. Just like mind cannot desire, the soul desires. But the mind is given the power of attorney to desire. So similarly, the mind is given power of attorney to lord over. So lauding tendency is in the mind, and lauding tendency behind the mind is the soul is having the generic lauding tendency. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जाय।